Hi, it's Lindsay here with another video. Hopefully by now you know why we think kids are so important in KidVenture and what we think it looks like for kids to be growing in a thriving relationship with Jesus. I also hope that by now you've taken a look at our policy and procedure manual, which helps to create consistent expectations for kids and parents as to what Sunday should look like and how well we're going to care for their kids. What I do want to talk to you here, though, is a little bit more about our strategy. How do we think about what makes a thriving kid venture to help kids love Jesus all the days of their life? Now, these priorities aren't just for the kids, but they're also for the parents, and also, most importantly, they're for you. So, the first priority we have, or the first thing in our strategy, is safety. The reality is, you guys, is if kids don't feel safe, if parents don't feel safe leaving off their kids, we're not going to be able to talk about Jesus. We're not even like, well, honestly, parents aren't even going to bring their kids to our church to where they're going to get to talk about Jesus with their kids. So the reality is safety is very important because the reality is if a child's not feeling safe, they're going to act out or they're not going to engage or whatever's happening. And honestly, as a volunteer, if you don't feel safe in your environment, if a kid starts hitting or whatever, or something is off, like you're going to be so focused on what's off or what's going on that again we're not going to be able to focus much on Jesus. So that's why a lot of times I'll talk a lot about our safety procedures, because I just want to make sure that everybody feels safe so that we can actually learn and teach about Jesus. The second thing we think about is fun. Are the kids having fun? Are you having fun? Are the parents happy that their kids are having fun? you know there does seem to be a trend in kids churches where it's like, oh, we want to have be so fun and exciting, um that sometimes we forget about Jesus in the midst of that because we're so worried about the programming. But I actually think there can be a balance. Like, you can bring fun, you can have fun, you can enjoy what you're doing in the space that you're in without sacrificing connecting with Jesus. And that's what we really strive to do here on Kid Venture. But the reality is if kids are throwing fits every Sunday morning because they hate coming to church, it's going to be very hard for a parent to say, I'm going to continue to bring my kid there. So we really do want to have fun. And honestly, fun really helps kids open up, right? So if they come in guarded or hurt from other adults, or even if it's their first Sunday, if they come in and they see fun things happening, they're going to like let down their guard and let us in to be able to teach about Jesus. Fun is also a great way to build relationships, especially with kids, as you're playing games with them or crafts or whatever it is that's happening that morning. That's a lot of fun. It's just a great way to begin to build relationships with the kids. So we do want to have fun. We do want KidVenture to be a fun place where kids are excited to come and learn about Jesus. Um, yes, we actually want people to grow in relationship with Jesus. We want our kids to grow in relationship with Jesus. We want our parents to grow in a relationship with Jesus. And I also want you guys to be growing in a relationship with Jesus. I recognize we're all coming in with different stories about how we choose to follow Jesus. Some of us are still on the path of like, actually, I'm not really sure about Jesus. Like, I know who he is. He sounds like a really cool guy, but I'm still not sure about these things. And there's some of us who are like, hey, I've been following Jesus for 20 plus years. But, just like because we're Kid Venture and we believe that faith is a journey, we're still journeying. And the great thing is I think just honestly getting to teach what we're learning to the kids just really helps us solidify and help us in our own personal learning. And so I hope you guys are taking the time to think through, like, hey, if this is what we're teaching the kids on Sunday, just taking some time to kind of sit with it before Sunday to be like, hey, what do I think about this? So that you can come in with a more just wholehearted approach about what it is that you're thinking in regards to whatever the lesson is. Because the reality is we can't teach kids things that we haven't dealt with within our own heart. So if we're still not sure about something, we're not going to be able to stand up in front of the kids like from a place of authority of being like, this is what I believe and why. Another thing is we want everybody, like, we believe in relationships with others. So we want you guys to be involved in community. We want our parents to be involved in community. We want our kids to be involved in community. Like, friends are important to our kids. And so, we try to do a lot of things around small groups, welcome centers. We do a lot of events where we just try to get people to be connected. I mean, hopefully, our churches have life circles. So a lot of times we'll talk about events or things that may be happening in the larger church that doesn't necessarily, directly impact Kid Venture. But I'm telling you these things as an opportunity to connect with parents so that they can connect with others within the life of the church so that they can be growing in relationships. And also for our kids. So if there's like events that kids are a part of, or if there's even things that are happening that I think would be beneficial to you guys, like our rooted cricket like classes or alpha, like depending on where you're at in your life with Jesus, like my desire is that you're going to connect into relationship with others in the life of our church so that you can continue to grow as well. Obviously, I've talked a lot about parents. Like connecting with parents is very important. The reality is is assuming that a child comes at least twice a month, which it's, I think the average right now is about 1.9 Sundays a month is on average for when a child, often a child attends KidVenture. Um, that's like what, 2 hours a month? That's like what, maybe 30 hours a year that we have on Sundays with our kids. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Jesus is very faithful and the Holy Spirit's very impactful. That those 30 hours, like God's always at work. I believe that. And so I think it's still important that we do those 30 hours. But the reality is our parents have far more time with their kids outside of Sundays than we will. And so it's important to be connecting with parents about, hey, today we were talking about this, and Susie, you know, she we really saw her engaging with Jesus in this way. Or we'll take out handouts with all of our curriculum materials to help parents, like, hey, like, how do you do these things? I post a lot of things on social media that kind of help follow with what the kids are learning on Sundays, as well as just providing additional resources. So it's really important that if there's things for us to hand out to families or communicate, that we are, because we want parents to know, hey, here's what's happening, and here are different ways that you can continue to disciple your child at home, because we really have to partner together to make every minute that we have with our kids count in terms of them learning to love Jesus. And then the last piece that we use in terms of our strategy is just an engaging curriculum called Grow. And we'll talk a little bit more about that once you guys get into your classroom specific trainings. But it's just a great curriculum that offers a variety of different ways to engage the kids in their different learning styles while still focusing on the love of Jesus. And it's not a behavior modification curriculum, which we love, because we really want kids to fall in love with Jesus and to really know just who is God, so that they can respond out of I want to do this because I love God and not because I feel like this is something I'm being told to do. So thank you guys so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys serving on Sunday.